Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Michael Cioni, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles. This is a live event happening on Zoom live and for some of you on YouTube, which means it could be live and it could not be live. I am enjoying a early morning Red Bull. It's 9 o'clock here, but this is how I start my day. I don't drink coffee. And I'm really excited because Red Bull has really been doing a lot of sugar-free flavored drinks. And man, it helps me take on the challenges. This is not a Red Bull commercial, or it certainly wasn't intended to be, but you should try the sugar-free Red Bull drinks. They're really good. When you're a startup, having Red Bull in the house is normal. In fact, all of us at Strada are building this product in my home right outside that door. So we work in my house every day so that we can save money and not pay for rent and focus on building the product working together. Speaking of working together, I have some help today, and I'm working here with my brother and co-founder, Peter, who's on the call with us. We've got Margot, our line producer, and Austin, our head of engineering. We're here to go over some of the product, answer some of your questions, but we want you to put questions in the chat. We are ready to do that both in Zoom and YouTube Live. And if you have specific questions you want me to talk about, that can be about workflow, that can be about the product, that can be about our roadmap, it can be about Red Bull flavors. All of that is on point. So please provide feedback, because I've got an iPad right next to me and I can read your messages that Margot and Pete and Austin will feed me, and they can respond to you as well. Okay, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to first talk about our introduction. We're going to do a little bit of our vision. We'll go over the roadmap, and that's really exciting. Wait till you see the roadmap. Most companies won't share their roadmap because they're always like wanting to live in stealth. When I started building one of my first companies, Plaster City, and then my second company, Light Iron, these were actually post-production houses doing major motion pictures here in Los Angeles. And I learned that the competition was always about the secret sauce. I hated this term. I hated this term. They still use it, a lot of them. Secret sauce. I don't like that, because I find that transparency breeds way more trust than secrecy. And while there are people that want to go to a business or a restaurant or something like that to get the secret sauce, I'm Italian, and a lot of times the secret sauce is shared because we want everyone to enjoy it. And I think that breeds more trust, gets people to come in and enjoy. So we will talk about the 2025 roadmap and the secrets of what we're building. We're going to show. So what? You can decide if you want to join us. And then we're going to talk about using the beta. I'll do a full demo of the product. And when you see me do the demo, it happens so fast. Some people say, did he have that prepared or pre-baked? No, I do it so fast. Strada is so fast and getting faster. We'll talk a little bit about pricing and wrap up. Again, please ask questions. I've got a way to respond to them, and Pete and Austin and Margot can as well. Okay, this is a special group. You are group E. We do these every single Tuesday. If you like this event, if you learned something, if you're excited and you want to tell someone else, you can invite them and they can join. This is group E, A, B, C, D, E. This is the 5th week. We've done this in 2025, and we're happy to have you here. Welcome, group E. Glad to have you here. Okay, so why did we even start this company? Well, this is going to start to get your mind going. This is thought leadership topics here, right? We noticed a problem. And the problem is something that you have. I don't know you. I might not know you, but I know you have this problem. I know you well enough to know you have this problem. Your creative team is unable to consistently use the cloud across your entire workflow. I'm willing to bet that when you think about your workflows, you have this pie chart of all of your media. All of your media probably lives on some local hard drives, and a small slice, maybe 10%, lives in the cloud. And you're going to use a cloud like Frame.io or Dropbox or Google Drive or Motion or S3 or Azure or something like that. But does this sound familiar? Most of your material's on a hard drive and some of it's in the cloud. Well, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And it's not sustainable for a bunch of reasons. And I want to look at this a completely different way. Think about this. At the heart of every single workflow, at the heart of every story, everything you create, there is access to media. You can't do your job without having access to media. Your collaborators cannot do their job without having access to media. And that's the foundation. That's the start of all workflow. Now, here's what happens. There's only two ways for you to access the media. In the whole world, there's only two ways. You can either have it on a local drive or you can have it in a cloud. There's no other way to do that. Now, local drives can be the size of a matchbook or they can be the size of a refrigerator. But local drives are how you connect to things, or clouds. And that's it. Now, let's look at the fundamental benefits of this. Well, local access is really great because local access is really fast because you can have, fiber channel or Thunderbolt, right? You can go really fast, or it's really inexpensive because hard drives are about 6 cents per gig. In US currency, a gigabyte is 6 pennies. That's so cheap for a hard drive. But if you want to collaborate with a hard drive, you have to make a copy. You have to give people a hard drive. You have to give them the power supply. You have to give them the cables, right? And then they need another hard drive for themselves. That is the downside to local drives. Well, what about cloud? We know cloud has some benefits, right? Well, cloud is really slow because no matter how fast your Thunderbolt cable is, you are limited by your internet bandwidth, right? And clouds are really expensive. In fact, cloud storage is 40 times more expensive than a hard drive. A gigabyte in a hard drive is 40 times cheaper than a gigabyte in the cloud because you have to rent your cloud storage month over month over month. So that's really expensive. But the cloud is collaborative. It's one source of truth, right? Because there's one asset and everyone can view from it, right? So when we look at this, this explains why most of your work is done on hard drives and some of your work is done in the cloud. But wouldn't it be great if we could make it fast and inexpensive and collaborative? And that's what we're building at Strada. Strada is building a way to connect your local access, your local hard drives, and remotely access those hard drives as if they're a cloud. So you'll get the speed and the inexpensive cost of a local hard drive, but you'll get to collaborate on it. And that's what we're building right now. It's so exciting. Now, why is uploading a file so flawed? Like, why I have a problem with the cloud. And I'll tell you why the cloud is actually a problem. I used to work for a major cloud company, a major product that was built in the cloud. And I got a lot of time with cloud, and I started building this camera to cloud technology, connecting cameras and sending the files right to clouds. But we kept running into the same problems. And I want to show you an understanding of these problems, which you're going to resonate with because this will make sense to you. But when you see it, it kind of seems really like obvious. See, video is so big, sometimes 4,000 times bigger than a document. Here are the problems with video in the cloud. One, the files are just too big, right? You shoot these beautiful 4K, 8K raw files. They're just too big. And then people love to record. There's actually an article that just came out yesterday. Pete, if you want to put that article on LinkedIn about shooting ratios, put that in there because there's a shooting ratio article that just came out and it proves that people shoot too much. And so that's kind of an interesting article. Then your internet upload speed. The average internet upload speed in the United States is 35 megabits per second. That's it. And so people can't really get files into the cloud very easily. Now, if they can get them into the cloud, the cost of storing it in the cloud month over month is too expensive. So no one can leave it in the cloud. The cloud is the worst place to archive. There are companies that want you to believe that archiving in the cloud is the future. It's not, because who is going to pay 40 times the cost every single month forever? Nobody can afford that. It doesn't make sense. And then the last one is really scary. The tools that you use to create aren't in the cloud, right? If you use Resolve or Premiere or Final Cut or Avid or Pro Tools or Logic or Houdini or Nuendo or Nuke or After Effects or Maya, those aren't cloud products. So your software stack is native, it's local. And if your assets are all in the cloud, you have a disconnection there and you're dealing with this. This is a major flaw. and it's really affecting workflow, and it's not a good path to the future. And one of the reasons that we quit our jobs and started Strada is we want to tackle this and make a better workflow from an understanding that the cloud promises are lies. And we want to help make that a little bit better. So Strada is a collaboration platform at the center of every video production. We are building the center platform. Strada is not designed to be a function that a tool that does one thing. It's designed to be a platform that eventually will do everything, that will manage your assets and your collaboration and your media and do workflow for you. And you still get to use your other applications like After Effects and Photoshop and Premiere and Resolve. So what's really powerful about us, we're new, but we're already committing to unlimited users. You can bring in as many people to the collaboration platform as you want. So invite your partners. There's no cost for storage because today we connect to clouds that already exist. Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive. So there's no cost to storage. You're already paying for that. And then we'll be adding hard drives, which you already have those. So you don't have to pay us for storage. So there's no storage cost for Strada, and it's going to become a one-stop shop and do everything in your workflow for you. Most of the other products, in fact, probably all of them, either charge for users or storage. And we're not charging for either. We're building a platform, and it's going to automate work for you. And we're already starting that in our very first beta right now, which you'll be able to use. Okay, so how did we get here? Well, we're talking about what we've built so far. We have built our core platform. The core platform is a little boring, but that's the slow, boring stuff that we had to make to build a platform. But it's really important that we have a platform because we can take it so far. And our tech stack is unbelievable. It's so powerful, and it's getting better and better. And with the AI announcement yesterday, if you take a look at the latest news and look at the stock market responding to that, even that change in the news is something that we can get value out of because of our tech stack and our platform. We delivered our phase 1 features. I'm going to demonstrate those in a second. And then we're going to show you what our phase 2 features, which is what we're building this year in 2025. So for the platform core, what we've built is something really powerful, easy to miss. Bulk actions. When you do workflows, there's a lot of tools. Let's say you're going to do transcriptions. A lot of transcription tools, you upload one file, it transcribes, and then you get it, you pull it down. That is not a workflow, because I can't remember the last time I created one file or had one interview or one file I needed transcribed. That's not good. Most products can do one asset. They can sharpen one thing at a time, or audio noise reduction for one asset, but we've built it to do thousands. You can bring in thousands of clips at once and transcribe them in bulk. That's a very big difference. So the product's scalable, and we've got this user management, and we've got security and permissions tied to that. So our platform core is really cool. Then we've got our phase 1 features where you can connect your cloud. So today we started with Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive. All of you should have at least one of those clouds so you can connect assets to Strada within 90 seconds of signing up. And then we can do video and audio analysis, and then we could do translation, and we can export the metadata from those transcriptions and things like that. So very, very powerful start. And just if you're looking to do transcriptions, Strada is the fastest, most accurate, least expensive transcription tool on the market, just for transcriptions. And we're building some new features to make it even more powerful. So here's a couple examples that I'm going to show you about how to use Strada. The first one is a problem. Let me get a little sip here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the first one is, have you ever wanted to find all of your media and interact with your team in one place? Well, that's kind of what we've got here. So if I look at Strada right here, I can click here and it'll launch my dashboard here. This is where my workspace is. And if I look at this little icon of people here you can see I've invited all these different people to my account. So you can invite all your people and you can change their permissions. So if you want to set them to be an admin or a member, you want them to have specific access to assets and things like that, that's all part of our unlimited membership. So you can bring in people and then they can review files, they can go into a project, and they can start working on the project, start searching, watching, reviewing, transcribing, analyzing, and very soon commenting. Commenting is coming. I don't think we've announced that till just now. Commenting is coming very soon to Strada. So you'll be able to comment, which is so cool because like products like Google Drive don't have commenting. Products like Frame.io don't have transcriptions, right? And so Strada allows you to have commenting and transcriptions all together. Products like Dropbox don't have visual analytics. And so this is really where the platform play starts to change things. And none of those products have unlimited users. Okay, so if we look at the next one, here's a really cool one. Have you ever had trouble finding a line of dialogue from a script? Look, the key to the best search is language. And this is so cool. Look at this project right here. This project is called Rattled, and there's 661 takes in this. So if I scroll through, you can see all these takes in this production. Okay, so if I'm looking for a line of dialogue, a lot of times what users have to do is they have to remember the scene and take, or remember what day they shot it on. Oh, what day was that? Was that day 5, 4, 3, right? But with Strada, we can just search for a line of dialogue, and a director, a cinematographer, a producer, you'll know the line of dialogue. So if I said grab a few, I know that the guy says grab a few extra things. Look how fast Strada will find the assets. It will instantly pull this down, and then I can search for the word grab here. I can click right to that moment and hit play.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab a few extra things.
So I found that take, but look, this quickly, I can go to the next take of the exact same scene, and I can go right to that section and see an alternate take.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab.
And then I could go to one more. I go to the next take, it'll load it in there. We see the word grab, and then we could take it right there and see a third version.
Yeah, she just needs me to grab. Okay, that's good.
So you can see how fast we could just search for a line of dialogue and find the material. Look, and our analysis and transcription is so good. It understands sounds, not just dialogue. Check this out. If I search for the word screaming, I can look for the word screaming. Now, screaming isn't necessarily spoken. Screaming is a sound. And so look at this. If we go right here, we can see that Strada understands that the actress is actually screaming and crying. So this is a really cool thing that we can understand language and sounds. I can even search by music, and music again being a sound. This is like taking transcription to the next level. So if we go here and we see a take like this and we look up the music, we can see that there's actually a music cue, and it understands that she's actually singing. So we understand that the music's happening and she's dancing and she's starting to sing. So this is a totally different next level of understanding audio, so that we can search by words, but also sounds and even audible cues like music. So very, very powerful to find things so quickly. Remember, there were 600 takes, and I'm just searching around for what my brain wants me to look for. I don't need bins. I don't need folders. I don't need it organized. I'm just searching for what the memories are. That's a totally new, fast way of working. Now, what about when you don't have audio? What about clips where there's no audio? So you want to find a clip, but you don't have sound. Well, in this case, check out this project. This project is a natural history project. And if you look here, there's 3,476 clips in here. So there are tons and tons of assets in here. This is all nature footage, you can kind of see. So what I could do, we had a bunch of fires here in Los Angeles. You probably heard about that. So if I search for the word fire, because it's on my mind, Strada's going to find all the shots in this that have fire in it, right? And so that quickly, we're able to find all these moments of these takes with fire. If I wanted to search for a location, right, I could say grassland, and now it's going to go through those 3,400 takes and find all the clips where it finds grassland. It's doing this in real time. You can see how fast it's finding, and it found 88 clips of grassland results, and we can see those results here. But what I want to do now is a compound search. I want to find grasslands with birds. And so if I say bird plus grassland, it's going to find, okay, look at, I've got an ostrich here, and now we've got birds and grasslands together. Here's another take of birds in grassland, and then here is another take. Now, remember, all of this media is not stored in Strada. Strada doesn't charge for storage. It's connected to another cloud. This media is either in Dropbox, Frame.io, or Google Drive, and we're just reading it off that. That's one of the powerful things. And so you can see the performance is just really fast and really great. And I didn't have to upload these into Strada. They're just being viewed in Strada. It's a totally new way of virtualization. And then I want to search for one more animal, giraffe. And now I'm looking for a giraffe with birds in a grassland. And here you can see exactly that. Here we can see we've got birds, grassland, giraffe all together enjoying their life. Here's another example of that. So we can see how Strada can use visual analytics to find what we're looking for. And watch this. If I said, if I wanted to make a bin here and call this giraffe, this is my giraffe bin, I can grab these files and now I can drag and drop them into the giraffe bin. And so now the giraffe bin is a way for me to take a search and then put it into a directory that I could share out to one of my partners or collaborators or something like that. And it becomes very fast workflow. Okay, here's another situation. Have you ever had an interview that was recorded in a different language? Whenever I have an interview that I'm working on and the language isn't one that I speak, all of a sudden the workflow just like really slows down. It grinds to a halt. It's hard, but Strada makes that really easy. Let's check this out. Here is an interview, and I'll make this a little bit bigger here, and I'll do this for now. And I'm going to turn on the closed captions and look at what's going on here. I'm going to hit play. I want you to listen to what's being spoken.
大家好，我叫王倩，我来自中国天津。
So this is Cioni, and she is speaking Mandarin, but we can see it in English. This is one of the coolest things about Strada. I can look at the native translation right here. So there's the native Mandarin, or I can see a translation to English. And if I search for the word painting, I can go here, and she's going to talk about painting here.
开始学习素描，然后学习山水画，
And I can switch between English and Mandarin while
后
it's
来开
playing.
始学习油画。
And you can see this is the beauty of this really cool way of working, where we can have a language come in and we actually support 100 languages. So you should take a look and make sure your language is in here, or languages that you work with in your productions. And Strada can easily transcribe all of them. And then there are options to translate them into English as well, and then export those into SRTs and things like that. So this really speeds up the workflow for dealing with interviews that are in a different language. Really powerful way to make it work. So this is very different, very powerful, and you can do thousands of these at once. Okay, have you ever wanted to watch multicam dailies? Well, if you've noticed, a lot of what I've been clicking on is multicam, right? Like, check this out. Here is a commercial, and it's got my friends Cioni and Max in it. And Cioni and Max are sitting here. And in this take right here, okay, we're watching a take, no big deal. There they're sitting there.
So,
there we are. Okay, nice shot. Okay, there's two of them. But what about when we roll two cameras? Well, check this out. Strada is the only product in the world that can sync picture and sound that are separate in the cloud totally automatically. All of these assets are independent, right? A camera, B camera, and audio. And check out the details here. Here you can see this take, 2 Frank, take 4. Look at the slate, 2 Frank, take 4. So Strada is able to understand, and then look at the labeling over here, 2 Frank, take 4. So if I wanted to search by 2 Frank, I can search by 2 Frank, and it will find all the takes that are 2 Frank, right? So that quickly it understands I can find the slate. All of what I just did is automatic. It's reading the audio file, syncing it, renaming it, and allowing it to be searchable. So that's a really powerful way to speed up your searches. Plus, if I wanted to hide B camera, I can watch A camera, of course. If I wanted to hide A camera, I can watch B camera, or I can watch A and B at the same time. And remember, the audio is also separate. These are 3 assets playing back. And so if I search for the word cheers and we go down to cheers here, we can see them say cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
So that quickly we can search and find and watch multicam all at the same time. This is totally a new way of working. And then the last one, have you ever wanted to have your media automatically logged for you in your nonlinear editor, in your editing software? Well, check this out. I can take these assets in this project. So here's a project here. And what we are able to do is when I right click, I can say analyze. And when I say analyze, I can do face detection, which is coming out very soon. It's not available yet, but it's coming very soon. We could do item detection and text detection. And so Strada can run these analysis. And when I run it, if I go into a product like Resolve, I have my production here, right? Check this out. This is going to be small, but hopefully you can see this. Look at this column, this keyword column. See how tiny, see how many things were logged? All of this material here was logged by Strada automatically. So if I go back to thumbnail mode and I want to search by a character like Beck, because I have facial recognition on my account, I can find the character Beck, I could find her by the lake, and I could find her backpacking. And if I put all that together, here we have a shot of the character Beck backpacking by the lake. Strada labeled that all by itself, and I could find that. If I wanted to look for the character Rose, it'll find Rose. If I want to search for a keyboard, it'll find a keyboard. If I wanted to find the character Flo in the kitchen, it'll find Flo in the kitchen, right? So this is so powerful that we can do this in Strada. If I wanted to find, someone reading, there are ways to discover that. So it's like there's so many cool thoughts that we can search by, and we can search in Strada or in our editing system. So we talked about the phase 1. That was all main features I just discovered. But now I want to tell you a little bit about phase 2. And phase 2 is what we're trying to build this year in 2025. And this is sort of what it looks like. We are building some really cool stuff. I mentioned we're going to have local storage, right? So we've got our local storage. So you can connect a hard drive, a RAID, a SAN, a NAS. And once that's connected, you will be able to share those files from that drive to your collaborators, but you don't have to upload anything to the cloud. It's totally different. Hopefully that makes sense, but you're going to connect a drive into Strada, and Strada will serve files to people so that they can watch it, and it'll just play off your hard drive at home. Now you might wonder, well, won't that screw up my bandwidth? Well, Strada is not going to, it's not going to try to move the file on your drive. It's going to actually virtualize the file in a real-time compression. In fact, it's exactly how this stream is working right now. The camera I have in front of me, if I stop sharing my screen, this camera, oh, am I a little out of focus? Oh, sometimes I'm out of focus. Let's, there we go. I got my Preston right here, so I can do that. So if you look at this camera right here, right? This camera right here is a Panavision DXL camera. This camera is making a file that's 1,000 megabits per second. That's what it's giving us. But Zoom, this Zoom platform tied into YouTube, is actually compressing that file on my computer in real time to 2 megabits per second. So it goes from 1,000 to 2 in real time, because you know this is real time, right? And my computer's doing that, and I have a Macintosh M3, and it's not even warm. And I've got Resolve open and Premiere and Final Cut, and I'm screen recording, right? My computer can do that. So what Strada does is the same thing. Look at the quality of this image. This image is sufficient for you to be able to watch your videos play back, right? Well, Strada is going to do the same thing. We're going to take your hard drive. We're going to virtualize the files just like Zoom, and in real time compress them so that when people go to Strada, they can play any file off your drive, but it's only going to push 2 megabits per second instead of 2,000. It's a totally new way of approaching remote review. This will open up the doors for you to do editing so that you could edit off of a hard drive that's not in your house and it's not in the cloud. It's in someone else's. It could be in the office or something like that. And you'll be able to remote edit. And then we'll be building a little bit of a Strada edit. Strada edit is more, it's not really editing. It's more playlists and paper cuts and rough cuts, things like that. Very simple playlists and reels. And then we're going to keep building AI automations. You saw we can do slate detection. We can do face detection. We can do syncing. We're going to do more automations in 2025 as well. So very, very exciting stuff. Here's just a sneak peek at Strada Edit. This is where you can go into Strada. This will come later in the year, and you can make playlists or reels. So if I searched by giraffe and birds, remember when we did that? I could just make a playlist of that, and then I could share that with my collaborators and they could watch it in a timeline. Or I could take parts of an interview like Cioni when she was talking about painting, and I could just put the parts about painting in a timeline and share that with other people. So all that is coming later this year, and it's coming from a hard drive instead of just the cloud. So where are we today? Well, we are in a public beta. We launched the public beta about 4 weeks ago. This is very new, but as of 4 weeks ago, you can sign up for Strada and just try it by yourself immediately. You get a couple of weeks for free, which is so generous of us, right? Mazel tov to that. And then you get to try the product and give us feedback. Now, it is a beta, so one of the things in the beta you got to do is refresh the page. It's getting better. But if you get stuck or something doesn't work, just hit refresh. Sometimes you need to be patient. We don't yet have an active progress bar that shows you how long things will take to transcribe or analyze. So you just have to kind of refresh and be patient. I recommend logging in and logging out, but we are pushing new updates every week. And I recommend using Chrome or Chromium-enabled browsers. But if you want to try Safari, you're welcome to do that as well. Now, we're going to put in the chat a link to our Discord. Discord is how we can get your feedback. So if you're willing to try Strada, please go to the Discord, sign up. Pete's going to put it in the chat. You can join our server. And then when you try the product, you can ask for help. You can provide bugs. You can give requests for features. And that's how the best way to communicate with us. So please sign up for Discord if you're going to use the beta. Now, a couple things that are not supported today. We do not yet do stills and documents. Those will be coming. We know you need that, but today we're only doing video and audio. And then manual tagging and the progress bar are close. We're getting close to those. We know you need manual tags and progress bar, but they're coming. So those are in the works right now. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a demo from scratch right now and show you how to bring in files into Strada and actually do transcription and analytics. If you want to use the same footage I'm using, we're going to provide that now. So Pete is putting in the link right now, an access point to that. If you're on YouTube and you want this footage, just send an email to beta@strada.tech or email info@strada.tech. And so that way, if you want access to the footage, we'll give it to you if you want it. You probably have your own footage, but if you want to follow along with ours, you're welcome to. And then we also have a support page, which you can access. I'll actually show you a better place. You can find it on our website. So if you go to support, it'll take you there. But if you're in Strada and you look in the upper right, there's this little question mark, and the question mark will actually launch our tutorial. Strada is. And this will allow you to see all these little tutorials. So if you forget, how do I export to Final Cut Pro? You can click on that and it'll teach you how to export to Final Cut Pro. If you're like, how do I generate transcriptions? And you forgot how to do that, you click on this and it'll teach you how to generate transcriptions. These are all real short solutions hosted by yours truly, and you're able to learn a little bit more about the function that you're trying to do. So you can take a look at that. Okay, so with that, I'm going to do a demo from scratch to show you how fast and easy this is. So I'm going to start in my workspace. Now, your workspace here probably doesn't have a lot in it. Mine, these are all my projects. So I can see all my projects here. Yours probably doesn't have as many projects, but you can see on the right here, I'm able to add clouds. I have a Google Drive, a Dropbox, and a Frame.io connected. In our paid plans, you can connect 3 clouds and you can connect as many accounts you want from those 3 clouds. So if you're tied to 3 Dropbox accounts or 3 Frame.io accounts, you can connect them all into Strada. And all of a sudden, you've given those clouds transcription, analytics, free collaboration. It's really cool stuff. So this is really powerful. You connect your clouds to Strada. Strada doesn't move the files. Strada just reads the files from those clouds and shares them. Now, if I want to make a new project, I'm going to call this, what's today's date? January 28th. So I'll make a project called January 28th. Now, one cool thing here is we have an option to automatically transcribe. If you want to set your project to be automatic transcribe or automatic analyze, you would turn that on and you would choose the language that you would be transcribing, or you would automatically tag. And if you turned on your tagging, it would automatically tag. So if you want, you can set projects to automatically kick off analytics and transcriptions when you import an asset. For this demo, I'm going to do it manually to show you the manual. So I'm going to leave those off and I'm going to create a project. So now that I've created it, in the upper right, you see it says January 28th, but look at all these other projects. Remember, these are the other projects we were looking at, right? We've got our Rattled, our Planet Earth, our Cioni, our Harlow. We looked at Camp Cash, right? And if I wanted to change the order, I could just move these around. I can close other ones, so I could just hit close. And if I wanted to open them again, I would go back into here and I would just open that up. And now I'm back into that. Oh, snap. I got to hit restart. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go to January 28th. So here's the project I made. It's empty. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this bin Harlow. And I'm going to make 2 more bins, Rattled and Transcription. So you can see I got 3 bins I made here. So how do I bring files into Strada? Well, at the bottom here, you see this button that says Add Source Media. If I lift this up, what I have is access to my Google Drive, my Dropbox, and my Frame.io account. If I click on any of these, I am able to go into all of my folders and I'm browsing my Google Drive, my Dropbox, or my Frame.io account directly in Strada. So Strada is just being given access. You give access to look at these files, it'll start finding them. Well, I'm going to go to my Frame.io account. I'm going to go to beta demos and I have a recording set up for today's date, which is 128. Okay, I had the date wrong. All right, so these are files in Frame.io and I want to bring them into Strada. So what I do is I open up the Harlow drive and I'm going to drag that into my my Strada account there. So here comes Harlow, and then I'll click on Rattled and I'll go to the Rattled files. I have these ready for a demo, so I'll bring those into there. And then I'll go to the transcription and I'll go to transcription and I'll drag these into there. Then I can close the drawer. And what I did is I imported these files into Strada, but I'm not moving them. They're not really imported at all. They just look like they're here, but they're still where they originally were. And check this out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and hit transcribe. This footage is in English. So as soon as I do that, I could do 3 files. I could do 300 files. It doesn't matter. And you're going to see on the right, it's going to start animating. It's starting to transcribe. Now I'm going to go to Rattled and I'm going to kick off in analytics. I want to analyze this for items. So I'm going to do a labels detection here and kick that off. And now you'll see at the bottom, it'll say in just a second, it's going to start it up. It'll say that it is now running 7 AI analysis, generating analysis. And then on my transcription here, I'm going to hit transcribe. We know that this language was Chinese, and I'm going to run that transcription. So I've got a few things going. Now, here's a little trick. If I refresh my page and I click in the upper right, there's a little semicircle arrow here. When I click on that, it'll show me the jobs I just ran. So it says there are 3 jobs and then 7 jobs and 1 job. So these are the 3 things I kicked off. I kicked off the transcription with the Harlow bin, the analytics with rattled, and then another transcription with the Cioni. This will not update dynamically yet. So if you want to see progress, you have to hit refresh. And when you refresh, it'll show you the project. So you can see it's 2 out of 3 done on that first one, and the other ones are running. And as I refresh, I'll get the results. So if you do a big batch, you just have to hit refresh, click on the little arrows in the upper right, and it will show you the progress. So that's kind of how it actually works. So if I hit refresh one more time and we click it, I can tell right here that my first transcription job is done. So if I go to Harlow, I know these transcriptions are complete, and I know they're all finished right here. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to do my favorite part of Strada. Notice we have A camera, B camera, A camera, B camera, A camera, B camera. And we've got our audio files here, right? We see 1 Charlie 5, 2 Frank 4, 2 Frank 5. Well, check this out. If I just select all and I right click and I say sync by time code, when I do that, Strada will automatically analyze the files. It will look at which ones belong to which, and that quickly it assembled A, B, and C. And look, 1 Charlie take 5, 1 Charlie take 5, and then labeled over here, 1 Charlie take 5. And so we are able to see that. And now if I hit transcription and I go to the word cheers and we click here, it's going to take us right there and we hit play.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So what's so cool, if you missed it, what we did, what you just saw, is we imported files from Frame.io, we transcribed the dialogue, we sunk them together, and then we searched for a line of dialogue and then went right to that time code and watched it. That all happened just in front of you in the last couple of minutes. That's how fast this is. And you can do this with hundreds of assets. And now all of this is searchable. All of this is usable. All of this is, I could do this with a huge batch of assets, and it's so powerful. If I go to this clip and I want to be like, okay, I know there's this line we need to check where she talks about the countryside. I could click right there. And now she says, I'll go here. She says, no, I lived upstate, the countryside.
Just love the big city.
No, I lived upstate. The countryside.
Like, there's nothing faster than this. It's so fast and powerful. Directors, this is the best dailies experience, and it's going to get so much better. But this is so cool that you can search for these, make bins, drag and drop, share, and stuff like that. Okay, let's do the same syncing with Rattle, right? Here we've got, look at this with Rattle though. We've got 2 audio files, but we've got 7 video files. But Strada will know by time code which audio belongs to which. So if I hit sync by time code, it'll automatically assemble the audio to these 2 takes. So it understands these 2 takes are the ones with sound, and these takes do not have sound. So if I hit refresh and check my analytics, we can see 4 out of 7 jobs are done. The last transcription's done. So I'll let the analytics finish. So we'll come back to that. While we come back to that, we know this one finished. So let's assemble this one together. So now we look at Cioni here, and we can see we've got a file. Yep, that's all done. So you can see here, the transcription is complete. We can hit play. And we've got 3 files in time code sync.
大家好，我叫王健，我来自中国天津。
Now, what we want to do is do a transcription in Mandarin. So check this out. Strada lets you hit this little plus button. I can choose Chinese again, right? But this time I'm not going to select translate. I don't want to convert it to English. And so when I kick off this transcription, watch what happens on the right. It's going to kick off a second transcription, and now it says ZH, which is the code for Chinese. And now we'll be able to switch between English and ZH as soon as this is done. So we'll come back to that in a second. Let's go back to Rattled. Now we can see Rattled is here, and we've got our analytics probably done here. So check this out. I've got my analytics, I've got my labels, and now it's able to find what I'm looking for. So if I search for cat, it will find, oh, it might not be done yet. So this clip may still be analyzing. Yeah, that one still may be analyzing. But if we look for like the rat, it's going to find the rat, and we can see it'll look for this little guy right here. If I search for if I knew the dialogue or I wanted to search, I can search for items in this in these clips as well. So it's analyzing the visuals and making this come together. So Austin, I think you should we might, I don't know where the state of things is. I want to take a look at this because I'm seeing this problem, Austin. We haven't seen this in a while, where the second part is blank. This is something that we had a long time ago, but I haven't seen this in a while. So we should take a look at that. That may be something in progress. So like I said, it's in beta. We're still pushing new things every couple of days. And I'm seeing a little bug here that I haven't seen in a long time. So maybe there's something we got to look at. Anyway, the point is we're doing our analytics. We're doing our transcriptions. If I go back to here, I'm sure our Chinese should be done any second. There it is. And so now when we play the clip,
大家好，我叫王倩，我来自中国天津。
and I can do a little, yeah. So we could see here how we've got our transcripts going back and forth between Mandarin and English. So if I were to export this, I can click this little export button right here, make an SRT file. And here is an SRT. I'll make this a little bit bigger. And now you can see I've got an English SRT right here. But I can also go into Chinese and I can do the same thing. And so what's cool about this is we can do a secondary SRT export on the same asset. Let's try that again. Here we go. And I'll make that bigger. So now we've got an SRT from Chinese and English back to back. Chris asks, how do you find the tutorials on my main Strada project window again? Chris, it's hard to find. I admit we're going to work on that. It's in the upper right and it's the question mark. We're going to turn that to a little like graduation cap. Strada is a cloud platform that and this will be a little bit easier to find. And it's I know it's very tiny, but there you go, Chris. It's in the upper right. If you forget that, you can always go to strada.tech, our homepage, click on support, and it will bring you to the support page that has even more information available, including all the tutorials. Great question, Chris. Okay, so now that we've done all this, where does that leave us? Well, we did want to know your feedback. Like we love feedback. If you thought this was valuable, let us know. Like we're trying to make something totally different here. We're trying to make something really interesting and really powerful. And we're just getting started, right? Commenting is coming. We're about to do transcription summaries. Next Tuesday, if we're lucky, I'll show you transcription summaries because you'll be able to take a transcription and actually get a summary out of it so that when you're doing lots of interviews, you can export just the summary. Or if you make a lot of YouTube videos, one of the worst things about YouTube is having to write these descriptions. Don't you hate writing these? Let Strada write them for you. You just run your YouTube video through Strada and ask for it to give you a description, and Strada will give you a YouTube description out of the translation or transcription summary. We can do that. So really, really cool features coming in the next couple weeks. So how much does this cost? Well, again, Strada does not charge for users, and we don't charge for storage. Your storage today comes from your current clouds, and you'll have storage on your hard drives. But what is going to be very cool is that Strada is a platform, and what we're doing is we're sort of charging $20 per workspace. Let me show you what a workspace is. Now, today, what a lot of people do is what I showed you earlier, is you have your account, that's your workspace, and you have a bunch of projects in your workspace. That means you're mixing projects together in one workspace. A workspace is $20 a month. Again, you can bring in unlimited people. You can connect as many clouds as you want, eventually connect your hard drives, and that's $20 for that active workspace. You're going to pay a little bit extra for more transcriptions and analytics, but we include 20 hours. If you look at the slide here, we include 20 hours of transcription or AI tagging in your workspace monthly fee. So $20 gets you 20 hours. If you need more, $60 gives you 72 hours of monthly transcriptions and analytics included in your workspace. But what I also think you should consider is having different workspaces for different projects. Let me show you an example. See, if I go to Rattled as a workspace, now all the projects are related to Rattled. I have my case study, my trailer, my sharing project, my behind the scenes, my VFX, my dailies, my composer stuff. So if I go here, I'm seeing this project is just dailies because it's just Rattled. So all the people I've brought into the project are only on the Rattled project and they're in a Rattled workspace. So for $20 a month, you can have a project be its own workspace and then have all the projects be different projects within it. So my composer, I have all my composer songs so I can see the sample cues or the different dates. I can see different rough cuts. All of these are different rough cuts. So there's different cuts going out every couple of weeks, right? And so that's its own project. My VFX review, my behind the scenes material, right? Things that I'm going to share or a trailer, right? So a workspace can be timed. It can be really convenient to have it on one project and all your projects are inside of that, or you can just have your workspace be a mix of things you're working on, and you make all the projects differently. This will be an easy way to start, but it will get messy very soon when you have lots and lots of projects and you want to control more finite control. So you might want to consider having a workspace be a project. Again, the math is easy. $20 a month per workspace, and that includes 20 hours of analytics and transcription. There's no fee for users. There's no fee for storage. And so it's really, really a powerful way to work. So we're trying to put Strada at the center, right? It's the collaboration platform. The reason we want you on the beta is because we want you to start doing everything in Strada and learning how to get your whole team collaborating this way in Strada, and then telling us what features you want next. As I mentioned, commenting is coming really soon, and facial recognition coming really soon, which makes search so good when you can search by a person's face. And then we've got transcription summary coming. We've got global search, so you can search across all the projects, which is super powerful. That's coming really soon. And we've got transcription editing, so you can change the transcripts and you can do a find and replace. So these are all really powerful things. If you find yourself needing additional transcription or analytics beyond the 20 hours a month or the 72 hours a month on the $60 plan, then you can just, it's really easy math. It's $1 per hour. If I needed 10 more hours transcribed, it's $10. You're not going to find that pricing anywhere else. And you're not going to find a faster way to bring in assets, transcribe them, and output and share. It's just, this is a platform. It's not a transcription tool. It's a platform. It's not going to be a commenting tool. It's a platform. There's tools out there that are commenting tools. This is a platform that comments. We're not just an analytics tool. This is a platform that analyzes, right? This isn't a collaboration tool. It's a platform that has multiple unlimited users, right? This is a different approach. And you kind of got to get into it. And that's why we want you on the beta. So I have the date wrong. I'm sorry about that. Let me fix that live. I sometimes do that. Okay, there we go. We made it to the end. This is really exciting. Bob asks, is this product for Hollywood or for smaller? Bob, I'm totally honest with you. This is for teams of 2 to 2,000. That's what it's for. We have a small team here of media people. We're able to use Strada with a team of 4, and it helps us speed everything up. It's designed to be fast and easy, as you can see. Collaboration, like, you know, Bob, if you're on small projects, Dropbox is really common, or a hard drive or a RAID, really common. And you bring that into Strada, you collaborate, you share, you comment, you bin, and you can sync and things like that and transcribe. But you can also use it on huge teams. There are teams that do major shows that have dozens of interviews and lots of like archive footage for their episodes. And those are big productions. And Strada can analyze all that archive material, and it can transcribe all those interviews, and it can share it all together. So it works for big and small. It really does. So that's important. Jeff, will we be at NAB this year? Jeff, we will be at NAB this year. Thanks for asking. We have a booth in the South Hall in the back, kind of by the Hyperloop. So please come visit us at NAB. It'll be really great. You'll see this stuff working. And then Richard, Are you adding more clouds beyond Google, Frame.io, or Dropbox? Good question, Richard. So today it's Google, Frame.io, and Dropbox. If you want more clouds, you got to tell us which ones you want. And we'll be able to add that. However, hard drives is our main objective. We don't want you. I don't know if you remember, Richard, but like we don't want you. We believe that most of your footage, almost all of it, is in a local drive, and only a little bit is in a cloud. So yes, we can add more clouds, but we think it's far more powerful to add more hard drives and make them behave as if it's a cloud. In other words, be the cloud. We want you to be the cloud instead of have to pay for a cloud. And that's what we're really after here. And we're really passionate about getting that right. So I want to thank everybody on Zoom that was able to participate live today. YouTube, thank you for joining us live today. I know you can't comment in real time, but on YouTube, you can reach out to us. And so I'm very available. I always put my email out here, which everyone says is a bad idea. But like I said at the beginning, I'd rather be transparent to earn your trust than to be secretive and stealth. That's how you find me. I will accept the spam that comes along with putting your email on YouTube, but I'm tough and I can figure it out. And so I want to talk to you. I want to help you make a better product and make a better workflow, make a better project, and make that workflow better. Get your teams together and maximize your costs so that you can collaborate in a way that you have never been able to before in a really, really affordable way. So thank you guys for checking out. If you enjoyed this, please tell a friend, tell them to sign up for Strada, get on our mailing list, sign up for the product, and join next Tuesday when we do another live session on YouTube and Zoom. And when we do it, we will also probably be showing a new feature that we didn't have working today. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you again, everybody, for being a part of this. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.